What's up, everyone, and welcome to Variant the Podcast. Hello, Tim. Hello, Variant Nation.
Hello, Arris. Hello, Variant Nation. Hey, real quick, just to let everybody know up front, this is going to be kind of a consolidated version. Why do you ask? Because everyone is going on vacation.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Wait, are you going on vacation?
I'm not going on vacation.
But you are when we get back, right?
I don't know that. So
by November, you're going on vacation.
You know when you don't know for sure, though?
You will by November.
So there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So it just feels like a sad sack of a situation. That's where I'm at.
Legitimately,
especially because you're going on vacation. My brothers Ryan and Josh are going on vacation. And so I just feel like I'm like this, even though I'm not. There's a couple people.
To be fair, though, you're usually the one who goes on vacation, and we're always here.
Not in a long time.
It's been like 2 years.
No, like 4 or 5.
That's because of the pandemic. But pre-pandemic, it
was
2020.
Yeah. Well, I would say pre-2019 because 2019 was the same. 2019 was a crappy year for me personally.
2019?
Yeah, that was a lot of junk. So it was, so pre-20. So 2018, that's a long time ago, Arris. That's 5 years ago now. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, whoever said like families or people go on vacation once a year, I'm like, I would love to go on a nice vacation once a year.
You know who does that? You know who does that? People that plan better than we do. That's who does that. Better planners.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's my 5-year resolution.
It should be.
You know, we're going to keep a streak. Got to keep it going now.
Me and my brother Ryan, that's why I went on those, because there was like a time period from like 2012 to 2018. I was pretty solid. Like I made a commitment.
Yeah.
No, good on, time with the family. We're going to go on vacation at least once a year.
Put money aside.
Yeah. And we did that. And there was a couple of years there we would do some really great vacations, stuff like that. And then 2018 was the last one. Although we did go out with a bang. Like the 2018 year, we went on a month-long vacation.
You went to Universal that year,
We went to Disney. Then we went on a Disney cruise, like back to back.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then we came back. We visited with family in Florida before we came here. So we were gone for about 3.5 weeks.
Disney cruise, bro.
Yeah. And that was, this is not like we saved for a while. And all joking aside, that was, to this day, I still I see Disney cruise lines and I'm like, I want to go.
Did you enjoy that more than the parks?
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it was just my mental state at the time because
Yeah.
I really, really was just like, I needed a vacation at the time. But it was by far, I think to this day, I think that might be my favorite vacation that our family has ever taken.
I definitely
so
want to
relaxing
do that.
and Disney does everything so top of the line.
But
it's not cheap.
No, they'll be like, could I have your firstborn?
Yeah, that's pretty much
what
it is. And it's way more now than it was then.
Yeah, your daughter, we're going to keep her at the end of this. That's your payment.
Pretty much, yes. But it was awesome. But it's been a minute, so I'm ready. But I'm glad you're getting to go.
Yes, I'm very excited. Yeah. I haven't been, this is our first family vacation. The last vacation I went on is years ago. I was with my wife pre-kids. So that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is the first family vacation. We decided to do a road trip because we wanted our own car. It is a little cheaper, but also kind of like, wanted that memories of the road trip, where you can stop, do what you want. Because I know it's going to be a little annoying too. Mm-hmm. The parents going to be like, just be quiet, stop complaining. But like at the same time, you have the core memories of whatever happens or them singing Elsa in the backseat for 2 hours straight. So
yeah, you'll get plenty of videos out of that. And it's, this is your first go with little ones.
Yeah.
So this is going to be your learning trip.
Yeah. So
after this, you'll be a pro. You'll learn you'll take all your lumps. You'll learn your lessons.
I don't think I said it because I'm going to Disney World. I don't know if I said that yet, but yeah, I'm going to Disney World for now
there's just going to be a bunch of people in Disney looking for you.
Yeah. I didn't say which park. No. But I kicked my water over. But yeah, I'm nervous / excited because the temper tantrums and the heat, and they've never been to a theme park. So the waits aren't too bad right now. I've been looking on the app.
I was actually about to say.
Waits aren't too bad.
Have you looked today?
Yeah, I looked today. I think Haunted Mansion was 35 minutes.
Oh, that's a little bit higher.
It is. No, it's higher than when it was a week or so ago. But that's because the hurricane was in Florida. So it seems why attendance were because when we looked last week, you were the one you texted me you might luck out. And the waits were 5 to 10, 15 minutes.
Insane.
But I think that was because the hurricane was hitting that week in Florida.
I'm pulling it up right now because I'm just
Magic Kingdom?
15 minutes.
For what?
For Haunted Mansion.
Oh, wow.
15 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. A lot of rides are 5, 10,
we purposely
15
went right after school started, the beginning of the school year, and we're going during the week to try to make hope that there's the least amount of people there.
Dude. But honestly, I haven't seen wait times of 5, 10, 15 minutes at Disney in like a decade. Legit like a decade. Because we used to go to Disney fairly regularly. That was one of our hot spots.
I told you, I told my wife, I'm spoiled now because the last 2 times that I've been to Disney was for Variant. So we went as media press. So when you go to media press, you
totally
get a handler.
Animal, yeah.
You just skip the front of the line. They take you through the back and everything. So there's like no waits. We rode Cosmic Rewind like 5, 6 times. Like just on, off. So like I'm spoiled now.
It's the only way to fly.
Yeah, where it's like, I gotta wait how long to ride this ride?
And it's the same thing for me with Universal, because the last couple times that we went to Universal, we stayed at a Universal hotel and they give you that unlimited express pass.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, but only for a couple different hotels. But they're really expensive now. It was years ago. It was much cheaper.
Hard Rock's probably one of them.
Universal, Universal has become much more popular. So, but if you stay at any other hotel, you don't get that, so you got to wait in line. So it's just after you've experienced that, you're like, oh, this is terrible.
I haven't looked into the Fast Pass thing or the Genie thing. Do you have to pay for Genie? Do you know?
The Genie, you only get a certain amount, and then you have to pay after that.
So you get a certain amount of, Disney. You get a certain amount a day, right?
Yeah, you get a certain amount a day.
It's basically a Fast Pass is all it really is.
Yeah, but then now they're making them pay. They're making you pay for them, and I think there might be a limit to how many you can buy in a day. I don't know.
You have to buy them, or you get one free.
You get. I don't remember how many you get.
On my way down.
You get a certain. I think you get one a day or something like that, and then you have to pay per ride per person.
Can you do that all on the app? Do you know?
Yeah,
My Disney Experience app or whatever.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you're gonna find out. You're gonna be able to report back on all this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to research this on the.
All we know is it's expensive, Arris. You're gonna come back very broke.
Yeah,
that we know that with 100% certainty.
Yeah, Daddy can I have this. Daddy can I have that. Dude, the one thing I told both my kids now, I am not spending $15 to $20 on a balloon.
Oh, that's fair.
It's not happening. One,
I did do it.
One,
I will say I did do it
because it's $15 to $20 for a balloon. 2, you have to carry it around the whole park when you go on rides. You got to tie it to the stroller. Like I don't know.
We did it towards the end of the day.
Watch, I come back and I'm like, I bought a balloon.
Oh, you're gonna have balloons.
It's like I did it anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be those stupid spinners that they go in the middle of the park. They're just those little
like the bubble machine things.
Yeah, the bubble machines. And you'll be like, no, what are we gonna do with that? We don't have anywhere to put it. And then you're gonna have it anyway. Because you're gonna say no, and then you're gonna feel bad, and you're like, who knows when we're coming back here?
Yeah.
This is their core memory. And then you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, that's why there's credit cards, people. How much does core memories cost? Apparently Disney says $299. That's how much that memory is going to cost you.
You can't put a number on it. Disney thinks you can.
I'm just in my mind, because the way my brain works is like, let's say we do like a nice dinner. We go to Chef Mickey. Yeah, let's say we go to Chef Mickey's, right? So that's like a $300 brunch or something like that, right? And then, between lunch and they want a plushie or some toys, I'm like at $500, let's say, right? In my mind, I'm like, that's half a day. I could have bought a PS5 or an Xbox and had it forever.
You could have bought a lot of things. Yeah.
That's how my brain works. So it's like, I'm trying to break out of it because it's experience for your kids and stuff they'll always remember. That's the important stuff in life. So I'm joking, but like my brain, like the cynical side of my brain's like, but if I spend $500 on something that I could keep forever, a new sound bar, an Xbox, an iPad, a Batman statue I could look at forever.
Yeah, I go through all of that with my kids, and I tell them because they, they'll get their own money. My kids are older, and so they have their, they're save their own money. And I always tell them, don't spend it on that. That's a waste. Put it away, save it. So I'm like that just generally. I'm a very frugal.
Yeah.
Vacations though is my weakness. That's my kryptonite.
It's because like what you said, I told you actually earlier, so I know it's going to happen because it's like, when are we going to go back?
Yeah, don't know.
You've already spent all this time and money and making your schedule work to take out this week. So it's like literally one in Rome. Yeah. It's like, okay, I'll figure it out when I get back.
The perfect example of this is what we said before. Is like, I didn't know when we went in 2018 on that vacation that was going to be the last time we went in 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? I had no idea at the time.
Yeah.
Right? I thought, we're going to, we'll be on another vacation next year, I'm sure. And then, one thing next to the next to the next.
And they're little.
Yeah. So they are only these little ages for a very short period of time. It goes very quick. And for those of you who are parents, you know exactly what we're saying. It's very fast.
Very, very fast. I got to get that. Dad, remember because when they're 18, remember when we were like 6 years old, you took us to be like, yeah, I remember. And that's why I paid for it. For that right there.
Yeah, no, it's exactly right. Because like my oldest is actually about to turn 21. And then I have my youngest is 13. So all my kids, I just really dated myself. All my kids are older. But they all have, like we have a ton of memories now to share.
Yeah.
That from all of them, from my oldest when she was tiny, we were in Disney World, and to all of my youngest. And so we have a lot of good memories, and I'm thankful for that.
Yep. So $30.
Not that I'm dying tomorrow.
$30 bubble machines. Here we go. All right.
That's right. I can't wait to hear the stories. $25 like ices.
Freaking unbelievable. That's Although, bro. So we'll move on and talk about Ahsoka. But last thing I'll say. So Gaston's. Like, I guess he's got a little tavern or place.
And they have there's
cinnamon roll. There's a cinnamon roll there, Tim.
I've had it. It's good.
My wife brought it up to me. We were watching Disney videos, YouTube, to like kind of like get familiar, see what's up and what they're doing currently. So we're kind of in the know. And they showed that it's this massive Cinnabon. It's like it's like under $10, but like the whole family, all 4 of us could share it. Me, her 2 kids. That's a must.
Dude,
that's going
I'm here to tell you
down.
It's
literally.
You've got to get. There's an iced like apple cider icy
from there
that goes with it. Yeah, you got to have them together. Delicious. Because it's right next to Beast's Castle too.
I'm gonna gain like 30 pounds. I'm gonna come back and be like,
is that everybody? Yeah, you're gonna come back and be like, is that Tim or Arris? I'm not sure.
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna do the worst. While you're gone, I'm gonna work on losing weight. So it just flips.
Because one of the things I'm most excited for is all the food, because it's also Halloween. So they got the theme stuff. So they got like the orange dust churros, like the marshmallow square treat things. Like the gray stuff I've never tried. I want to try the gray stuff. It's delicious. Let's go.
Whatever you do, if you get a chance to go to the Beast restaurant or whatever, just don't order the cheese platter.
Why?
We ordered the cheese platter one time because it was like a 4-course thing at night if you go for dinner.
Yeah.
And one of them is options is a cheese platter. Thing comes out, and my oldest daughter, she gets it. And she's like, ugh. And we're like, what?
Does it stink?
We're like, what's the matter? Is it bad? And she's like, it smells like feet. It smells like feet. And we're like, no, you're exaggerating. So I was like, pass it over. Cause I will eat almost anything. She passed it over. And I was like, it legitimately smells like feet.
Did you eat it?
I tried it.
Oh God.
It didn't. Bad breath. Bad breath.
That might be worse.
I'm sorry. I ruined the story.
Like an SLS
She said it tastes like bad breath, which is worse, I think, than feet. That sounds grosser than feet. So yeah, but I did try. I did try it because I will try anything.
It's Disney. It's where dreams come true. Did you have them take it back?
No, because apparently it was just the type of cheese. And apparently that particular cheese does in fact smell like bad breath. So you can go there, just know that bad breath cheese is available should you want it.
I'm sticking to cheeseburgers.
That's going to be a fun time. The Halloween stuff is cool too.
Yeah,
but you're going to get to see and take your kids, I think, to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, we'll be going to.
So you might actually get to see Ahsoka.
Yes,
who is newly in that land.
She is in that land, and that's one of my daughter's favorite like fictional characters right now. So she will freak out. Oh, Grogu, because the Grogu's there. Mando carries Grogu in his little pouch thing, and it's animatronic.
Oh, that's right.
That she will freak out for too.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So I want the stormtroopers to interact with them so bad, so bad.
I wonder if they'll do anything special with the character because the show is ongoing.
Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen videos. She's just walking around with her sabers, interacting with people. I mean, I didn't see anything. Pictures and talking. Nothing crazy.
So it's not like Ahsoka stuff everywhere.
No, I mean there's Ahsoka. There's got like the merch from the show. They're selling her lightsabers and plushies.
For $750,000.
Her lightsabers are probably stupid expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, Ahsoka episodes 3 and 4 currently out.
So I have not watched the most recent episode.
The best episode,
which apparently is the best one that has the most spoilers.
It's kind of infuriating because I can't say any of the cool stuff.
I mean. Guilty as charged.
Yeah, like there's okay. So
I will say episode 3, because I for those of you who watched our last episode where we talked about Ahsoka, which by the way, sorry we didn't have an episode last week. Same kind of schedule situation. that we are dealing with everybody going on vacation. So we kind of had a schedule crunch. And as a result, we have a podcast this week, but there will not be a podcast next week. And then we will
give you time to watch Ahsoka.
I'll be caught up by then. But episode 3 was it was better than the first 2, I thought. The first 2, my biggest complaint was that it was so slow. And it improved.
It was a lot of setup, right? But now they're off. They're off.
Yeah, now they're off to the races. There was still a lot of like too much smolder, smirking, and staring at each other. I thought that improved in episode 3. It was better. It was definitely better, and the pacing was better. But there was still a little bit left over. But it got better. But apparently, the most recent episode is the one that everybody's like losing their stuff
because
over.
A lot of stuff happens. Like it's 35 minutes of actual content. They say it's 45 minutes, but it's like 10 minutes of credit. So you actually get 35 minutes of actual show. And so much happens. That's kind of what I wanted them to do for the first episode, where it's like condense this and make a lot of things. So it's like, and just so much happens in those 35 minutes, and it's a crazy cliffhanger and everything. And they introduced things from long time Star Wars fans are geeking out about.
So I did see, as I told you earlier, concepts. I did see that Anakin has something to do with it.
Obviously.
But I already knew Anakin was appearing because you told me that.
That is a big part. I won't say how or where or why or to who. Who, what, when, where. But yes, that is a massive part. But a concept that's brought into here is also a very massive part. And then even stuff that with current characters that were just introduced in the series is really interesting to see. The
vagary, which I appreciate because I haven't seen it yet.
Just all I will say is that from what I've seen on the internets, the general consensus, especially from like diehard Star Wars fans, back to the original trilogy, a lot of people are saying this is the most Star Wars thing we've gotten since Disney acquired Star Wars, and that's including Mando. Which says a lot, because Mando, specifically season 1 and 2, some of my favorite Star Wars, period. Just period. I love Mandalorian. He's like top 5 Star Wars characters, Luke back, Bo-Katan. So that says a lot about this episode. Now,
I'm going to go in with the same attitude that I've had thus far because it's helped me. I did the same thing with Blue Beetle. I went in with extraordinarily low expectations, and it helped me enjoy it.
Although it's bummed that the Anakin showing up in it, because that's kind of like,
well, that's you were the one that spoiled that for me. I didn't know that.
Well, it was rumored, yeah, but because it's kind of like,
I mean, I assumed it was possible.
Yes,
because of his connection to Ahsoka.
Because that's another reason. Because
at least in a flashback,
right. I can't say anything, but it's a big moment. It's basically as big as bringing Luke back. That's his dad. Yeah, you got Anakin. Sure. That's literally like the Skywalker, saga. So
I mean, the fact that we're getting Hayden Christensen back as Anakin Skywalker is just such a cool thing. Even though they ruined it in Obi-Wan.
All I'm saying is,
which I won't go off on that.
This is what I will say. That won't give any spoilers, but everyone right here who's watched it knows. If you are a fan of Clone Wars and Rebels, you love this show so much, and I love it so much.
Okay, so that leads me to the question, because so we are going to be back officially. So today, when this episode is going to drop on the 11th, so we'll be off the 18th, and then we'll be back on the 25th. So that gives us what? That's episode. We're on episode 5 going on, right?
5 will be this coming Wednesday.
5, 6, 7. So when we come back, episode 6 will be through episode 6. So there's 2 episodes left.
Yes.
So through episode 4,
be 75% through.
Where do you put this as so far as a series? Where do you rank this amongst? We'll start with Disney Plus content.
It is right now. It is second to I think Mando season 2 is Mando season 1 is great. I think Mando season 2 is better. So right now, it is probably on par with. Oh man, it's hard to judge it. I'll put it this way, because we're only halfway through. If it stays on this pace, if every episode is just as good as episode 4, it's rivalry. It's probably just as good, but potentially better than Mando. If it stays on the pace that they set,
I'm gonna have to,
because
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Because again, like Thrawn, Thrawn, everyone, he's the big bad, right? You got Thrawn, you got Balin Scowl, who's an awesome new character. Hin Shadi, his Padawan, who's awesome. What they're doing, I love what they're doing. I told you Sabine Wren. I think she's a little annoying at times in this live action version, a little bit, but I do like the girl who's playing her, and I really like how Filoni is doing a slow build. One of the biggest complaints that everyone had with Rey was that she was just perfect and great off the bat. That is definitely not the case with Sabine Wren. And Sabine Wren is way more established. It would make way more sense for Sabine Wren to be good because we've got her for like 4 seasons of Rebels. She's a very established character.
Not only that, a bunch of time has passed between Rebels and
right. We found out she was being trained by Ahsoka. She's, one of the most elite Mandalorians and stuff like. So it would make more sense. But like, she is struggling. You see it in episode 3. She's, Ahsoka's trainer. She's struggling with using the Force. It's continuing to go. God, I wish I could say something. But I just love what Filoni's doing with her. Ahsoka too. Like at first, the first 2 episodes, I was like, this is kind of like, I don't know if I'm digging this. Ahsoka seems different. But as it goes on, 3 and 4, it's like, yeah, Ahsoka's she's older. She's more experienced. She's a little more downtrodden where she's like a little more jaded now. And then you go back and you realize everything she's been through. It makes sense that she's not kind of like the happy-go-lucky Snips anymore, especially, since like the Jedi Order didn't believe her and she decided to leave because she's like, no, you guys aren't, I'm not, you guys like thought I killed people and all that stuff. I'm not going back to you. You guys are like, have your own issues. Clearly she was right because the Jedi Order fell because of that, because they were too busy like internally trying to play the political game instead of doing what they knew was right within the Force. So, which is one of the things I love about Star Wars the most, how you have all the politics constantly going on and it reflects real life and stuff like that a lot. But anyway, it makes sense that now, like the way she's being portrayed. And I will say this, it's not a spoiler, but what is one of the things you loved most about Ahsoka in her first appearance in season 2 of Mando? It was the samurai stuff, right?
Oh, you mean as far as the action goes?
The way they portrayed her.
I thought you were talking about maybe the way they portrayed her.
The action, like you were saying.
Oh, yeah. No, that first episode that she appeared.
Yeah, Tim.
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah, Tim.
Well, even in episode 3, that training sequence, it was samurai elements.
Dude,
to that.
the whole
yeah, even the way that they were training.
Bro, and just like she's steady, she's calm, she's balanced.
I will say that was the one. That's actually one of my mild complaints. Is I'm not loving the way. Just
I don't want to talk it up too much though. But again, even with talking it up, I will go as far to say, if you're a Star Wars fan and you like Star Wars, I don't see you, at least, I don't see their way of you not liking it in any capacity. There's no way you could say it's bad. You may not be over the moon about it, but there's no way at least I personally feel, any like big Star Wars fan could be like, this was just not good. You can nitpick for sure, but there's so much good and stuff to get excited about it within lore, the action, twists.
I'm just very curious to see where Dave Filoni takes the story elements, because Disney has done, with the first trilogy, with the Rey trilogy, they did such a bad job of containing Star Wars mythology, of building off of it in a coherent direction, of setting things up for something that felt like it was consistent with the through line of what came before it.
Yeah.
You could go on and on, but the way that they did things with Rey, how she was just like this, the most powerful Jedi of all time in 5 minutes, that sort of a thing. Just on and on and on you could go. I'm very curious now with Filoni writing this, just, already having done Clone Wars, already having done Rebels, and now getting his hands, Mandalorian and stuff, now getting his hands on this, where he's writing it, he's overseeing this fully. But it also feels like with this show so far that he's using this to build something, to branch off into something new. He
very much, I will say, it almost seems like he's trying to build his own section of the Star Wars universe.
That's kind of the gist and the vibe that I'm starting to get, is that he is, but he might be.
But with stuff he's already established in Clone Wars and Rebels,
right?
Which is brilliant.
And which is all extraordinarily consistent with what George Lucas built.
Correct.
So if he continues on that, in that direction.
I had some episode recommendations for people to watch if you haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, because it literally ties directly into this. There's like a 3-episode arc. I don't want to even say it, because if you know it, you might know what I'm alluding to. Then it might be a spoiler. Okay, I won't say it. But there's a certain arc in Clone Wars, and then a certain two episode in Rebels that was this thing that now he's running. He's just running, and it's really cool to see.
Well, now I'm going to be watching it. If I watch this episode and I go, "What the heck is Arris talking about?"
Well, you watch Clone Wars,
right?
And you watch Rebels. So I mean, see, I can't say because there's a certain thing that happened at the end that people were like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "You didn't watch Rebels." That's how I know you think that.
All right, I'm gonna watch. I'll probably watch it tonight. But they are introducing some cool stuff. We know because we get the voice of Kanan in one of the trailers.
Yeah, I hope we get some Kanan stuff.
So I'm curious to see. They've just introduced the son, Jason, which is
wants to be a Jedi.
Yeah, and he wants to be a Jedi. So he's doing a lot of stuff. We know Ezra's alive. Well, we don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they revealed it before. But Ezra's alive.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what he's done, but more importantly, I'm curious to see what he's using this to set up going forward. Because we know we're getting another Rey trilogy, which is insane in my mind.
Forget about that. All I know is this. Rumors are that this is gonna springboard into Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie and give us.
But how are they going to tie those two things together? Outside of,
but that's what when you watch episode 4, it's you see what he's setting up, and you get glimpses of like, okay, I see.
I mean, they're introducing a new galaxy.
Yes, you already know that from episode 3. Yeah.
So we know that from episode 2.
Oh yeah, 2. Yeah.
So even then, they furthered it in episode 3. Mm-hmm. So it's like you can kind of see it's like, okay, we're going to create a multiverse here, and I'll live in this one, and you guys can live in that one.
Because they're trying to get to Thrawn, which ultimately, whether Thrawn's back or not already, ultimately it's going to end with him seemingly winning because that's going to have to lead into the movie.
Right.
So that has to be assumed that they're not going to feed him by the end of the series because he's apparently going to be the big bad for the movie, which makes all the sense of the world because then they would do, oh my God, what is it? Heir to the Empire.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I mean, we already, at least if they stick to Legends, we kind of know how it ends for him.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know that they would do that.
He would probably, I'm sure Filoni would change it, especially if this would be canon.
I just don't think, I said this to you before, I just don't think that Disney will allow two different versions of Star Wars to run simultaneously.
No, I don't think,
and compete with each other.
I think he's going to do it where it's just separate enough to I'm just going to go play over here.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with your future Rey stuff.
Because there's been too much controversy around the Rey sagas that I just don't think that they're going to want to allow for anything to compete with that for fans to go, this is good, that sucks.
Okay, I will say this. If you didn't know this or anyone listening to this, the last thing I will say, that episode 5 is directed by Dave Filoni.
Which is the next one.
Which is episode 4. When does he step up to direct episodes?
When it's important.
Correct.
So this one sets up. So there's clarity. So in episode 4, you get some real clear visions of why he's going to do episode 5 then.
Yes, Tim. Yes. Yes, you do.
All right. I'll watch it.
So even if somehow you're like, on that episode, you're not jacked for the next episode where that cliffhanger that he's writing and directing. When did he direct the Mando episode? When Ahsoka showed up. What episode was that? One of the best freaking episodes of the season.
That was one of the best episodes. It was an amazing episode. But he also directed the first episode of Ahsoka.
He did.
It was very slow.
It was slow. I get
it. They're setting up a lot of things, but
he also directed the best episode of Boba Fett, which is with Luke Skywalker.
That's true.
And so when Dave Filoni shows up to direct, some characters and things are going down.
It's true. Or Jon Favreau.
Because he's basically like, no. I handle the legacy characters. You sit over here. It's time for me to play.
That's true, actually. He has consistently stepped in when it's been real important story beats.
Mm-hmm. Or like the only major character that he didn't episode he didn't direct was the season 2 finale with Luke.
Yeah.
But every other one, he's like when there's a Luke, let's say there's.
There's other important episodes.
There is, but you know what I mean.
He has directed some of the more important episodes.
Yeah.
So all right, well, we'll see. Because what I want to do is after this series is done, I want to sit down and
this series is already. I think you would even say now you're not as high on it as I am, but I think even you would say it's this as of now. It's like second to Mando.
That's not a high bar.
Oh no, you would probably say Andor, right?
Andor, yeah.
Andor. I keep forgetting about Andor. I forget about Andor too, but Andor is really good.
Yeah, there was a couple people after our last conversation. A couple people said you guys forgot about Andor. We did.
Andor is really good.
Andor is actually I think there's a strong argument that Andor was better than Mandalorian. And I mean that from the sense of like storytelling and from like the quality of the content. Andor was freaking excellent. It was excellent. Now
you like red lightsabers, don't you?
I do. From a standpoint of like pure Star Wars, Mandalorian is better.
That's why. That's for me. Yes.
But from a standpoint of just like storytelling and filmmaking goes, and like the quality of the content,
I'm in it for a galactic soap opera, Tim.
Andor was excellent. So I would put Andor and Mando as far as how I enjoyed them, like right side by side, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
But everything else that they've put out has just not been. I'm not talking about the animated stuff, obviously.
Oh, Bad Batch was fantastic.
Kind of which I guess you have to count all that. So I'm talking about just the live action. So Obi-Wan and
Bad Batch is really good.
That Bad Batch is great.
Well,
even that though, it has some like filler episodes occasionally.
That's
some fluff
just
because it's an animated series. There's more episodes, etc.
Yeah, Clone Wars has so much filler.
Yeah, and so. But I don't know. We'll see. What I want to do when we're done, I want on the podcast when Ahsoka is done, I want to do an episode where we actually break down and we just do a board and we do our favorite, what our through line. These are our favorites in order.
Yeah.
For the entire Star Wars universe, movies and shows in order. Boom, 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 boom. It's going to be hard to do.
That's hard. That's a lot of content though,
but
too.
I want to do like the full board. And just
wait, movies and shows,
the whole Star Wars thing, and say this is our ranking order.
Good Lord, that's hard, man.
Putting
Clone Wars and Rebels against the prequels and original trilogy, that alone.
It can be done. It must be done.
Oh my God,
it must be done. So, but yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes, and we'll be back on the what did I say?
7th,
the 20? No,
20 something.
It was the 25th. We will be back.
What am I talking about? This is the 7th. We'll be long after that.
Yeah. We'll be back on the 25th to talk about through episode 6.
I'll tell you this. I'm going to be on vacation and I'll be on Eastern time at that point. It goes live 9 on Tuesdays Eastern time, meaning when I get back to my hotel and everyone's done showering and sleeping, I will have my AirPods in and I will be on my iPad. And I will be watching Ahsoka.
They have Disney Plus in the They should have Disney Plus.
They do, but I need silence and no interference from outside noise. Okay, I need to be focused. Fine. Okay,
fair.
So, because I could put it on, but we'll see. Maybe if the kids are asleep, maybe if they're not. AirPods. Okay, AirPods. Noise canceling.
I'll be watching them with my surround sound because I will be home.
And that's
not on vacation.
I can't gripe because I'll be at Disney World. But it's of course, what could be the best episode of the season. I have to watch it on an iPad.
Yeah. Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, I know. It's
woe is me.
As I'm in a Disney resort.
Yeah. But all the regular content for Variant will come out as usual. We've got everything lined up, and I'll be here slaving away, making sure the content goes out.
Maybe I'll bring a churro from the park that day, save it, and eat it while watching the episode.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. All right.
Won't that be a treat?
Yeah, it is.
Disney room service.
Dude, yeah. Oh, room service.
I don't know that I've actually ever gotten room service.
They do offer room service at the thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
they do.
It's unreasonably.
This is really making me want to go on vacation. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right. Speaking of, I gotta go pack my car. So,
but yeah, we will be back. Like I said, we'll be back on the 25th. So stay tuned for that, and then all the regular content will come out on the main channel. And also, we are switching from the main channel back to the Variant podcast YouTube channel. So
subscribe, follow.
Yeah. So for those of you who like to watch the podcast, listen to it on YouTube. make sure that you are subscribed to Variant, the podcast YouTube channel, because we had it on the main channel for a little while we were getting things back up and running, but we are going to be switching back over to the podcast channel full time.
So if you want the video format, it'll be on Variant the podcast.
That's right. And all the audio platforms as usual, but make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel itself.
Yes.
Other than that, enjoy your vacation, my friend.
Thanks, Tim. And we'll see you guys next time when we talk about all things comics.